It started on a morning that already felt too heavy for its own good. Alarm at 6 a.m., cracked phone screen glowing in the dark, the smell of instant coffee instead of breakfast. Mariah Carter lay there for a beat, staring at the ceiling of the one-bedroom apartment she'd been fighting to keep. Her 4-year-old son Jace was still asleep on the pull-out couch in the next room, his toy trucks lined up like a tiny army along the carpet. Today was supposed to be her comeback, her first real interview in 4 years, a shot at a marketing job that could finally pull them out of survival mode. She ironed her thrift store blazer the night before, polished the scuffed shoes, and packed Jace's lunch for Miss Rita down the hall. But just as she zipped up his little backpack, the phone rang. Rita's voice was weak, apologetic. "Honey, I woke up with a fever. I can't watch him today." Mariah stared at the phone after she hung up, hand trembling. No backup, no family in town, no ex to call. Jace blinked up at her from the couch, curls sticking to his forehead. "We still going, Mama?" She bit her lip, then nodded. "Yeah, baby, we're still going." The office lobby of Sterling and Hayes Digital smelled like polished marble and power. Glass walls, chrome elevators, a receptionist with a smile as thin as the silver necklace around her neck. Mariah walked in, holding Jace's hand, resume clutched like a lifeline. "I'm here for the 9:30 with Mr. Reed." The receptionist's eyes flicked to the child. "You brought someone." Mariah tried to sound calm. "Childcare fell through, but he'll sit quietly, I promise." The woman pursed her lips, picked up the phone and turned away, whispering. Jace tugged at Mariah's sleeve. "Can I color now?" she whispered back. "Just wait, baby." The receptionist finally turned, her voice coated in pity. "I'm sorry, our policy doesn't allow children in interviews. Mr. Reed says you'll have to reschedule." Mariah's face flushed hot. "Please, I've been waiting months for this." "I'm qualified company policy," the woman repeated final. Mariah swallowed hard, thanked her anyway, and turned to leave, humiliation burning behind her eyes. That's when the elevator dinged. Out stepped a tall man in a charcoal suit, phone in one hand, presence like a quiet storm. "What's going on?" he asked. "She brought a child," the receptionist replied. He looked from her to Mariah. "Is that true?" Mariah squared her shoulders. "Yes. I had no one else. I didn't want to cancel." He studied her for half a beat, then said, "Follow me." The receptionist started to protest. "Mr. Sterling, she's not," but he cut her off. "I said follow me." Marvin Sterling. The Marvin Sterling. Tech Founder magazine covers keynote speeches. He led them through a glass corridor into a corner office that felt like another planet, floor-to-ceiling windows, oak desk, skyline beyond. "You can sit," he said, gesturing to the leather chairs. Jace climbed up and pulled out his crayons like he owned the place. Mariah sat stiff, palms damp. Marvin adjusted his cufflinks. "Tell me about yourself." She blinked. "Now, why not?" She took a breath and told him digital marketing strategist, 4 years at a boutique firm, left when she got pregnant, freelance to survive, now ready to come back. He listened without interrupting, only nodding once. "And if I handed you a mid-size brand bleeding engagement but still holding on to a loyal base?" he asked. Instinct took over. "I'd audit the data first. Traffic sources, bounce rates, conversion funnels, then figure out where the messaging drifted from the core audience." She kept going fast but steady, and when she stopped, he was actually smiling. "You built campaigns with paid media. Facebook and Google's small budgets had to make every dollar work." "Bootstrap marketing," he murmured. "Useful skill." He stood. "Come with me." "I'm sorry." "Bring your son." He walked her down the hall to a conference room where a sharp-eyed creative director named Tasha was sketching logos. "This is Mariah Carter," Marvin said. "Brand development, ad strategy, engagement. Start her on contract 90-day trial." "No HR process?" Tasha asked. "I am the HR process," he said dryly. On Monday at 9 a.m., Mariah returned, this time a loan ID badge clipped to her thrift store blazer. By lunch, she'd already pitched a TikTok micro-influencer idea that made Tasha raise an eyebrow. By the end of the day, a sticky note waited on her desk. "Strong first day tea." She pressed it to her chest when no one was looking. Weeks passed in a blur. Campaign metrics, Slack pings, coffee cups. But Marvin kept showing up in small ways. A quick check-in, a quiet word. "You're not here because of charity. You impressed me. Don't forget that." One Friday, daycare shut down with a plumbing emergency. Mariah had no choice but to bring Jace in. She set him up with snacks and a tablet by her desk until he wandered off. Panic hit like a punch to the chest. She searched the bathrooms, break room, called his name down hallways. Then she heard laughter, high, delighted, unfiltered. She followed it to a door she'd never opened before, the rooftop garden. Lavender rosemary stone paths above the steel and glass. And there was Marvin Sterling on a bench, juice pouch in one hand, Jace chattering beside him about squirrels and cookies. Mariah's breath caught. "Mama, look," Jace called. "Mr. Fancy showed me the secret garden." Marvin glanced up, half smile. He wandered into the hallway. "I figured I'd keep him from launching a hostile takeover of accounting." Mariah knelt, brushing a curl off Jace's forehead. "You scared me, sweetheart," he mumbled. "Sorry." Marvin's voice softened. "You're not the only one making this work. Let me help sometimes." They stood there surrounded by herbs and city sky, and something shifted, not a rescue, but recognition. The gala invitation arrived a month later, black envelope with her name in gold. Formal attire, Metropolitan Hotel. Visibility status, maybe risk. She had nothing to wear until Tasha slipped her a boutique card. Saturday night, Mariah walked into the ballroom wearing slate blue satin and borrowed confidence. Chandeliers glinted off crystal glasses. Marvin stood near the stage tuxedo, crisp haloed by chandelier light. Their eyes locked across the crowd. He crossed to her, slow, deliberate. "You look..." He paused, incredible. They sat together at the main table, whispering comments during speeches, laughing softly. When the jazz quartet struck up, he leaned close. "Dance with me." She hesitated. "I haven't danced in years. Neither have I. We'll figure it out together." On the dance floor, she asked, "Why me?" "You could have hired anyone," he said quietly. "Because I know what it's like to walk into a room and have nobody believe you should be there, and what it means when one person does. I saw fire in you that day. I still see it." Her throat tightened. They danced a little longer, steps slow, deliberate, as if each one meant something. After the gala, gossip swirled. The CEO's favorite whispered behind glass walls. But Marvin didn't hide. When a photo of him carrying Jace at a community event went viral, he called a press conference. "I built this company to innovate fearlessly and lead with authenticity," he told the cameras. "Part of that authenticity is acknowledging the people who make me better inside this company and beyond it." Mariah Carter is one of those people. So is her son. No apology, no hiding. And she didn't shrink either. By spring, she'd been promoted to project manager. Full salary, benefits, her own team. Jace had his own room at Marvin's house now, glow-in-the-dark stars on the ceiling. The rooftop garden became their weekend retreat where Jace hosted imaginary tea parties, and Marvin fussed over tomato plants. They weren't perfect late nights deadlines, the weight of expectations, but they were real. One evening, Mariah found a drawing tucked into her notebook. 3 stick figures holding hands under a sun. Above them in wobbly letters, "My family." She stared at it a long time, hand over her mouth. Later, sitting on a picnic blanket at a farmer's market outside the city, she told Marvin, "I used to think I had to be everything, mother, provider, protector, all on my own." He looked at her. "You were. But you don't have to be anymore." She whispered, "I love you," before she could stop herself. He didn't flinch. "I love you too." That's the real story. Not a rescue, a recognition. A door that was closing slammed back open because someone with power actually looked and listened. And now I want to turn it over to you. If you were in that lobby, would you have enforced the policy or bent the rules? Do you think companies should rethink how they treat single parents? Have you ever been underestimated only to prove them wrong? Drop your story in the comments. Like this video, share it with someone who needs to hear it, and subscribe for more true life stories that don't just entertain, they make us think about justice, dignity, and what we owe each other.